Hit the switch.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not going to get to the call. I'm break to
Our children are the rocks on which our future will be built. The future leaders of our country will protect our people. Here's a release of YouTube Jamaica's children with 60 great lessons by our top students. Best in Class book available for purchase at the Gleaner Library.
That's not for 106.
The RJ Gleaner gift card,
Unless
32 Linders Road,
the delay
Gleaner's
is still
West
on.
End dealer offices at every on-street Quebec.
Still hearing the theme.
We're live on board.
Yes. Is the delay still on? I'm sure that's not Paul. That's not Paul. Still hearing the theme. Boss? Boss? Oh, you mean the theme? Yes, yes. This. Hold on. We're just trying to start. Just a second. Just. Me? No, I'm cool. I'm cool. Thanks. You're supposed to be hearing Phil Simmons. Phil talking foolishness. The both sides team.
The most accurate news.
Both sides team.
Discover a new job.
I'm listening to the radio itself. Now we need to start.
You can't start. You have to return that to you going on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on now. I shall return again. I shall return to laugh and love and watch with wonder eyes at golden noon the forest fires burn, wafting their blue-black smoke to sapphire skies. I shall return to loiter by the streams that bathe the brown blades of the bending grasses and realize once more my thousand dreams of waters rushing down the mountain passes. I shall return to hear the fiddle and fife of village dances, dear delicious tunes that stir the hidden depths of native life, stray melodies of dim remembered runes. I shall return I shall return again to ease my mind of long, long years of pain.
Nothing. Yeah, but negative nothing, no return. I know that I was getting different yeah, yeah. You manage to manage it. Motherfucker, camera and all that thing. I'm moving on that. You look, do it.
Number Toots and the Maytals Country Road, and before that, I Shall Return by Claude McKay, as we come to you live from the parish of birth of the great Claude McKay, poet laureate, Kings Hill, Clarendon. We'll tell you some more about Claude McKay. In fact, his birthplace here in Clarendon, about that a little later on. 2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the seventh day of the seventh month of 2022 when the two sevens clash: the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Put another way, it's the seventh day of the third month of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season, and the National Meteorological Service is reminding us of a trough moving across Jamaica, and this This trough is expected to continue to move across the island, should be to the west of the island by this evening. And no significant, apart from that, no significant developments weather-wise. And just to continue with the introduction, let's remind ourselves that today is His Majesty the King's birthday in Nepal. It's Independence Day in the Solomon Islands, Sabah Sabah in Tanzania, Running of the Bulls in Spain, and Unity Day or Victory Day in Yemen. Hoy es jueves, el 7 de julio 2022, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir both sides of the story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. Come back. C'est jeudi le 7 juillet 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. Ask David. Ask David if he has connected with Orbin Hill.
Been here.
Tell him to tell Lorna as well, because same thing happened yesterday. We called and nothing. All right. Let's go. In case you missed what we were saying at the start of the program, let's remind you that it is Thursday, the 7th of July, 2022, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Come back. This afternoon, we're coming to you live from the Rocky Point Community Center in Clarendon. This is the venue for the first in a series of town hall meetings organized by the Ministry of Local Government, and the title changed, didn't it? Local Government and Rural Development. As the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development himself will be here, the Honorable Desmond McKenzie, for the first in a series of town hall meetings. Not for the first time, this is an annual event, would have been impacted by COVID-19 over the last couple of years, but it's been going on for a few years. And so the first town hall meeting takes place this evening at 6 o'clock here at the Rocky Point Community Center in Clarendon. The next one is scheduled for the 14th of July in Westmoreland at the White House Community Center. Then on the 21st of July, it's on to St. Mary, the Claude Stewart Park to be more precise. And then on the 28th of July, St. Anne will take center stage, and more precisely at the Runaway Bay All-Age School. So those are the town hall meetings scheduled, all a part of the just ensuring that our preparations are intact as we continue to navigate this 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. And we were sharing with you a bit of the weather earlier on. We were saying, no, apart from the tropical wave that is moving across Jamaica right now, and the fact that it will continue to move across the island today, and then by this evening it will be to the west of Jamaica. After that, a trough will linger across the island into the weekend. Additionally, and remember when you hear of a trough, it usually means there is some kind of I'm not going to say bad weather, but maybe some kind of precipitation or wet weather of sorts for the most part, as opposed to a trough. I beg your pardon, as opposed to, so that's a trough, as opposed to a ridge or a high pressure ridge, which would be the opposite. So it's a ridge would suggest, and a high pressure ridge, fair conditions, and the trough, well, less than fair conditions. But we should also tell you that there's a low level jet stream that is expected to bring windy conditions, especially across southern parishes for the remainder of the week. And as we have shared before on this program, a low level jet stream is a narrow band of fast flowing winds in the lower levels of the atmosphere. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But as we said at the start, it's nothing significant to report. But just a reminder to pay attention to the weather forecast, especially during these months. All of last year, we told you that the 2022 national, the 2022 North Atlantic uh, hurricane season would start in May. In May, and so this is the third month in the, since the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. But more of that a little later on, because the town hall meeting will be broadcast live here on Horror 106 FM starting at 6 o'clock this evening. And the keynote presentation will be delivered by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, the Honorable Desmond Mackenzie. In the meantime, we're looking forward to your usual participation, especially those who are in the community of Rocky Point and surrounding areas that are set up on the outside. We'll take a walk not too long from now to tell you what we're seeing on the outside, and we're going to make that move in a little while from now. In the meantime, though, let's remind you of where we are. As we said, we're at Rocky Point Community Center in the parish of Clarendon, and we also made reference at the start of the program to the poem we recited, which is I Shall Return by Claude McKay. And we selected that piece because, of course, this is Claude McKay's parish. He was born in James Hill, Clarendon. When he completed elementary school, he was apprenticed to a cabinet maker and wheelwright in Brownstown, St. Anne. In 1910, he went to Kingston, where he joined the island's constabulary force. His stint in the force, though short, was not without its adventure. In 1912, Claude McKay's first volumes of poems, Songs of Jamaica and Constab Ballads, for which he was awarded the Silver Musgrave Medal of the Institute of Jamaica, were published. He migrated to the United States, where he became one of the leading writers of the Harlem Negro Renaissance. In 1948, Claude McKay died in Chicago and was buried in New York. In 1977, the government, on behalf of the people of Jamaica, posthumously awarded Claude McKay the Order of Jamaica in respect and admiration for his great contribution to literature. So that's the giant of a man who was born in James Hill, right here in the parish of Clarendon, which itself has a rich history. Clarendon named in honor of an English Lord Chancellor. And Clarendon incorporates Vere, which was once Spaniards who established cattle ranches called patos or haciendas. It was the Spaniards who named the principal river of the parish Rio de la Mina, or River of the Mine, Rio Mino. It is said that they washed for gold on this river at Longville, near to what is now Maypen, the capital. The parish that is known as Clarendon was first developed in the 17th century from land grants given by Charles II. to former Commonwealth troops who established sugar estates along the Mino Valley. Many places along this valley still bear the names of these original settlers, such as Sutton, Pennant. That's why there's a place called Pennant in Clarendon. And there's Ballard as well. Peter Beckford owned acreage in Clarendon, as did Henry Morgan, who owned Morgan's Valley and Dance, which Morgan gave to his wife, who was of German nationality. And according to legend, she told him thanks in German, Danks, and or Dankevel, and that's how the place got its name. We also should remind you that Clarendon is the home of the Milk River Bath, which is another of the great spas. The radioactivity of the water is many times greater than many of the world's most famous spas. The relative radioactivity of the water has been found to be 9 times as active as Bath in England, 50 times as active as Vichy in France, 5 times as active as Carlsbad in Australia, and 54 times as active as Baden in Switzerland. There's more after the break. Aha. Orbital. Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're coming to you live from the Rocky Point Community Center here in Clarendon and continuing our build up to this evening's town hall meeting organized by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. In the meantime, we're connecting with another minister, this time the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill. He has been busy in the trenches, we gather, trying to further enhance the investment opportunities here in Jamaica. And it seems the Middle East is anxious to participate in the process. Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill, good afternoon. How are you? I am fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story. I hear you've been very busy continuing your efforts to drum up support for investment opportunities here in Jamaica. How has it been going since last we spoke at the Montego Bay Convention Center?
From the sheet, the Jamaica Special Authority. The whole aim was to meet with Saudi Arabians. They're probably 6 years have given them there. But no, it was about 8 years here. About some of those business executives were here. And the whole point of this has been that we look countries are already available here in this fund. And it's just a really great place to have them involved. And they come into the states in Jamaica as two projects we have in the special economic zones in terms of the infrastructure that we're looking trade reports and big infrastructure projects. So all were discussed, big and small, and we're going to have more time to show them some of Jamaica and some of the projects.
And it sounds like perhaps you by now would have an idea or some kind of inclination as to the areas of investment that they seem to be interested in or curious about and wanting to test the waters. Are you able to say what some of those areas are?
They would have it that Saudi Arabia is building out the tourism industry. That's as it is right now on the project Royal Island, Mohammed Salman. And they want to make they have been in very close contact. My buddy is the head of travel tourism to the kingdom. He's made other trips, and they want to look at investing in tourism in a major tourism area. They also want to encourage it, and we have new bauxite as an extraction is, and therefore venues to economic activities, and we're encouraging them to be a master developer in part of our special economic zone that we are developing. And of course, we are interested in ports. We're engaging them in the east of Saudi Arabia to come to New York and London and elsewhere in the United States. Say, okay, look at Burnham Field. We can build a 14,500 airstrip there with airport facilities. It's near a big port in Rocky Point, deep water. We're looking to say, because these are big investments that Saudi Arabia will look at. And if they can lift their people, not just Saudis, but other Arabs who may not have visas to Brazil, Mexico, Barbados, Dominican Republic, from Jamaica. We're encouraging that investment, substantial one. And therefore, that's so big and small. Charles will be having a chance to meet with them tomorrow when they come to Jamaica. They're interested in mining. I'm sure as well. We expect to meet with them when they come to Jamaica tomorrow. So we're giving them the full gamut of see where we can to get them to substantial amount of investment out there, being one of the biggest outward investment countries in the world.
And so, what are you hoping to achieve with this latest visit by these potential investors? What is the hope going into and coming out of this latest visit?
You know, as having spent so many times, so many of my years of my decades as a banker, you really realize that we do not get an investment the first time. When they come to look at it, they go back and they assess, they send back more questions. So it's a process. Saudi Arabia has never looked at the Caribbean with this kind of, in fact, not in very much, never mind this kind of delegation. The Saudi Fund for Development and another fund that they run, they're very keen in investing in the Caribbean region now because clearly the one region in the world that has no money, has location that has There's a bit east of that there. And so the Caribbean, a major tourist destination, where they're looking to grow tourism, is an area of key interest to them, and they made that very clear. So our channel is to say, look, these are the projects we have. This is how we go about it, and we'd like you to look at investing in it. And we're talking with the Saudi to get
And it seems that, sorry, go ahead.
process to become a 1 week. The process is not a 1 week. The process is not a 1 week process. It's ongoing. We will have to visit again. We probably will have to take a delegation there. It's really a big that we will probably send to them. So, the effect never had any financial investment in hotels some decades ago, and I would have many, but it did take some time. So this is a new market that Minister Bartlett, as Minister of Tourism, and myself as Minister of Investment, that knows, I know the area very well. We know that this is an area from which we can get investment, and that's the process.
All right, well, we'll be tracking your progress as you continue to play your part in drumming up investment support for Jamaica.
Sure, you have other questions, and we'll be
Looking forward to that.
Thank you very much, Dervan, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Same here. You're welcome. Thank you. Take care. The Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the Honorable Aubin Hill, telling us about a visit of a contingent of investors from the United Arab Emirates. More in a moment.
2:45. Trendsetters, we're back. Trendsetters started with a new look, fresh faces, hot topics, and a whole new vibe. We're talking finance, dating, dancehall. You think it? We discuss it. We don't want to miss it. So join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Power 162nd and 6:30 p.m. on TV Day. Gen a show for the youths by the youths.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Horror 106 FM. Good afternoon to these adorable children. They seem to be having fun. After all, it's summertime. And as you indicated earlier on, there are a number of tents that are set up in the yard here at the Rocky Point Community Center. A number of booth holders. There's the naturally the Social Development Commission, the SDC, is very well represented here. Let's see, we have the National Insurance Scheme through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security also being promoted. There's a lot of material that is being handed out at this booth by the representatives of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. We're also seeing a banner featuring the Steps to Work program. The National Water Commission, NWC, is also represented here. As we said, the Social Development Commission Also active, the Rural Water Supply Company, Rural Water Supply Limited, the Social Development Commission, SDC, is also represented here today, and they brought along with them some of their tools and the equipment, and also some useful information when it comes to fires. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, always ready, and they are here doing what they do best, educating members of the general population, engaging them, and also ensuring that they lead the respect nation that will good as they seek to play their part in service to Jamaica and Jamaicans. So those of you who are already in Rocky Point, as we said, feel free to come over to the Rocky Point Community Center. And if you're perhaps on your way home, well, when you get here, if you get here at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, activities will still be happening. And then when we get to 6 o'clock, it will be time for the town hall meeting organized by the Ministry of Local Government. So that is to come. And that should go for a couple of hours. Actually, we're not too far from the sea. And so we're feeling the sea breeze here in Rocky Point. And we are looking forward to seeing you here this afternoon and beyond. It's a massive complex here. And there's a field of, I would imagine, football and other purposes. Obviously, further development likely to take place. We're looking forward to the rest of the afternoon as the time wears on. We're looking forward as well to your virtual participation. After all, it is your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM.
Yeah, let's take out the wire.
Live on the website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices, all over. 876-922-411-225. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. And that number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. We welcome your input. Someone is saying hi, not sure who, but hi to you too. That message came in on our text line. Good afternoon to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Good to have you on board. Sean Chambers is tuned in as well. Good afternoon. Asha Ash says, good day, Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. PM Noble from Great Britain is also on. And let's hop across to Facebook Live and see what's happening there. Quite a number of messages populating the space. Norman Hines in St. Thomas is joining us. Good to see you on board. Jessica says, Buenas tardes. God is good all the time. I'm tuned in to your informative program. Thank you very much, Jessica. Michaela Anderson, good afternoon to you. Hello to Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Always good to have you on board, Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Mikey Jarrett says, Thursday afternoon blessings and a blessed love. My brother Dervan Malcolm from Brooklyn, New York. Always good to have Brooklyn in the house, Mikey Jarrett.
Thank you very much. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you. Sharon Richards says, blessed good afternoon to Sir Malcolm. Blessed afternoon to you too. Sharon Richards, Linton Taylor has joined us. Good afternoon, Linton Taylor, and all the very best. Keep those messages coming in. And the phone lines are open as well, 876-922-411225. 876-922-411225. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. And in fact, we have a lot of messages that came in yesterday, people chiming in as far as the various discussions yesterday were concerned with crime, corruption, and related topics. Quite a number of people were messaging us, and we're going to try to squeeze in a few of the messages this afternoon. From North Carolina, this one says, Dervan, you have to remember that Johnson, like Trump, are both Americans. They have similar traits with respect to the British Prime Minister and the former US President, Boris Johnson and Donald Trump. So that's what this listener from North Carolina was saying. James in East London, well, he feeds us with information from the British press every single day. And so we saw a lot of what has happened. We saw it coming. Thank you very much, James in East London. Eureka says, Dervan, can you ask that man who stated we should be able to go anywhere if he thinks he should get into someone's home or property? Again, for those who missed most of yesterday's program, you would have missed the connection between these comments and the discussions that were being had yesterday. And also, H. Morgan in Birmingham says, he was having connection issues, he said yesterday. I'm sure he's much better today. H. Morgan. Dr. Sharon Wiles also touched base with us yesterday. She continues to do her philanthropic work, and I'm sure she will tell us it's God's work that she is doing. She's a missionary, among other things, and a humanitarian at heart. And so, who's this now? Let's go up the line. Prince says, hello Dervan, good day. Joining with the discussion. Did you know you can list your case if the lawyers fabricate the evidence and otherwise wrong? Well, no, we weren't aware of that, Prince, but we hear you. Thank you for your message. This person says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. The police force and the government are both corrupt and no one trusts either. We see the police links to gangs in Clarendon. Clifford says, he was having audio issues which we shared with the transmission team for radio and TV. So let's move on and tell you of the other messages. Going down the line here, let's see. Franklin McDonald says, good afternoon, Dervan. Here is the Jamaican trivia reminder. Sir Stamford Ruffle is the founder of Singapore, was born in Port Morant, Jamaica, on this day in 1781. That would be yesterday. the 6th of July, 1781. Thank you very much, Franklin MacDonald, for the information. We haven't read it in its entirety just yet, but we guarantee you we'll get around to it. Thank you for sharing. Welter Wilson, hope you're getting through further to your message. Agencies and departments with responsibility for charitable shipments. Hope you're getting through on that score. Let's stand by for the break and come back.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. 876-754-7473. The time, Coast to Coast Concrete is 3 o'clock.
Let's go, studio. Let's go. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, on 106 FM. We're coming to you live from Rocky Point here in Clarendon, part of the build-up to this evening's town hall meeting, which gets going at 6. It's organized by the Ministry of Local Government, and it seeks to target readiness across the various departments and agencies which fall under the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. And usually happens this time of year because it's also a time of year that we need to be mindful of the fact that we're in the hurricane season, which means nature could come knocking at any time, and so preparedness is key. We look forward. Thank you very much for your message. This one says, I wish continued success as you share and care for the people. God bless. Blessings to you too. And another one. Let's see. Let's go down the line. And see who else is messaging us here. Elorid says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. When will JUTC supply washrooms and shelter? When the rain started, there was nowhere to shelter from the rain. There can't be a bus terminal without a washroom and shelter from the rain, says Elorid. Perhaps I think that would fall to the Minister of Local Government or the Ministry of Local Government. Maybe, yes. David Crossburn says, good day to you and your global listeners. May the God of comfort be our portion. Britain needs to rethink the way they treat Jamaicans. It was only 80 years after the end of chattel slavery that 10,000 Jamaican men volunteered and fought for the war, or fought in the war in Britain. That meant of all the other colonies except New Zealand were conscripted. Furthermore, according to the Daily Gleaner 2014 anniversary book, at the end of the war in 1918, the Jamaican Assembly passed the War Damage Repair Act of 1918, requiring Jamaica to pay £60,000 per year for 40 years. Keeping in mind also the contribution to World War II and the Windrush contribution, it's therefore an affront for Jamaican citizens to be mistreated by Britain. No similar mistreatment is done to other citizens. For example, Barbados. Kind regards, David Crossburn. Thank you very much, David Crossburn, for your message. For 6, Raskava is online saying, welcome to the only parish with a D-O-N, Don. Clark Don says, thank you very much, Raskava, for checking in. Good to be in your parish, although this appears to be quite a distance for you to travel. And therefore, I suspect we are not going to see you this afternoon, Raskava. Lynn E says, good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, Lynn E. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Hello to the people of Chapelton listening to us right now. Chapelton was first known as Chapeltown because the village took the name when the present parish of Clarendon was divided into the parishes of Clarendon and Vere. The Cross Church near Maypen was then the parish church of Clarendon. The Chapelton Church was built as a chapel of ease, Clarendon. The oldest records go back to 1666. Well, we told you about Danks before. Danks was originally known as Danke, D-A-N-K-E, and was owned by Sir Henry Morgan, buccaneer and one-time governor of Jamaica. According to the book Captain Blood by Raphael Sabatini, this area, this land, the area now known as Danks, was given by Sir Henry Morgan to his wife, who was of German nationality. And she said Danke, which is German for thanks. And the land was given this name. Good afternoon to the people in a place called Far Enough here in Clarendon. Hello to the people of Far Enough. Apparently land was taken up here by George Mackenzie, one of the members of the Scottish Darien expedition of 1698, which proved a failure. The Darien project was an unsuccessful scheme entered upon at the close of the 17th century by Patterson, the Scottish financier, for colonizing the Isthmus of Darien and directing trade to Scotland. Land was granted to Scotsmen in Jamaica, and this particular one set enough here in Clarendon. Casita Johnson says, blessed Thursday, Mr. Malcolm. Have a pleasant day. Love your cool voice. Thank you very much, Casita Johnson. All the best to you. And so now you know how Far Enough got its name. There's also a place called Gold Mine. And you may recall in recent history that they were in fact mining gold in the hills of Clarendon. I think it was Osjam that was doing the mining in Clarendon. So that wasn't the first time. That's not it, because the Spaniards in their search for gold are said to have washed gold at that place called Gold Mine. And then here's another place for you. Hello to the people of Hall's Hall. Halsehall. There's a tendency for us to say Hall's Hall. No, it's Hall's Hall. Hall's Hall. Hall's after Thomas Hals, who joined the English army under General Venables and Admiral Penn at Barbados, and was granted land at Hall's Hall. Hals was born in 1614 and died in 1702. His tomb is to be seen in the burial ground at Hall's Hall. On his death, his half-brother Francis Sadler acquired the property, and he adopted the surname 1745 to 1746 and again in 1749. He died without issue, and his wife Janet entered into an agreement with John Ellis to convey to him all estates owned by her husband, including Hall's Hall, which subsequently came into the ownership of Sir Henry de la Beche, who was an eminent geologist. A plaque to his memory was placed in the Great House by the Historical Society of Jamaica in 1956, unveiled by the then governor of the island, Sir of Jamaica, or at the time. There is also a Hall Hall Village. I think we're going to pause there for the time being, having given you a lot of information having to do with the history of certain place names in the parish of Clarendon, where we're broadcasting from right now. And we thank you very much for joining us. If you're just tuning in here in Clarendon, and we're looking forward to engaging as many members of the community as possible, even as we get ready for this evening's town hall meeting organized by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. Good afternoon to Sean, who is saying hi on WhatsApp. Thank you very much for tuning in, and all the very best to you as we continue on location. Naturally, as is the case all over Jamaica, you cannot have an event of this nature or this magnitude without music. And so the music is blaring right now in the background amidst the community fair, I'd like to call it. It's more of a community fair in Rocky Point, Clarendon. So we're going to take another walk on the outside. See if we can get an overall too. I wonder if it's firefighting. I wonder if these people be Good afternoon to you, sir. Introduce yourself to our listeners on 4106 You know, there's some people who are always asking, what are our emergency services? We don't seem to have the kind of emergency service that obtains in other countries. But what you just said confirms that we do in fact have EMS. Maybe not at the magnitude that we would wish. I think that we have been open recently. Last year, we should be one in Yara, and there's one in Virgin News. So the opportunity to your booth across the way here. We want to get an idea of the nature and extent of the information that you're sharing with those who visit the booth, and the community members seem to have turned out in their numbers. How are you? Yes. So I see Simon is pointing to Mr. Davis.
I'm gone outside.
Thank you very much. Mr. Davis, how are you, sir? And can you give us an idea of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an audio check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit. Work with that.
King Box and this I'm on the
Treat
vacation.
yourself to famous Jamaican Jersey Foot Drip Joint. Open every night. Call 876-906-4854 or come to 78 Nazi Boulevard in Houston. It is a secure environment. Apart from emancipation from all COVID-19
So most of the children know when to go to bed. Yeah, man.
Three, one, two, three, four, five, six, zero, one, two, three, four, five, six, two, three, four, five, six. Three, one, two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six. What's this? Three, one, two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Three, four, five, six. This is audio check. Two, three, four, five, six.
Here in Canada, ahead of this evening's town hall that is happening at the center, the town hall.
Big one, two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six. Ladies and gentlemen, one, two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six. Big one, two, three.
Of the Rocky Point Community Center. So we're just going to continue our conversation with Leon Davis, fire prevention officer with the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So I know this is Clarendon Division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Actually, we have a couple of fire extinguishers here. One type of fire. This would and I recommend that our home should have a fire chief. It's noticeable. If you can learn, even if you're a fire, if the party is just keeping
Hit one, two, three, four, five, six. This is the volume check. Two, three, four, five, six. Two, three, four, five, six. Hit one, two, three, four, five, six. Hit one, two, three, four, five, six.
Yes, so when the rescue of our friend. Yes.
Hit one, two, three, four, five, six. Hit two, three, four, five, six.
it's to travel with a fire extinguisher in the car, for example.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of prevention, now when you interact with the children, one of the key pointers you usually give to the children first of all. Tell them not to say what is
Bro, try him a second. Oh, yeah. Open up.
As adults, what some of the things that we do that we shouldn't be doing and that we need to pay attention to.
Six, one, two, three, four, five, six, two, three, four, five, six. Yep. 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 What's that for you? What's that for you? Hit. Hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's me. That's us. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit 1, 2. Thanks for all the information you shared with us. All the very leaders of the Canada division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade speaking with us on vacation here at the Rocky Point Community Center. The team from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management are on hand as well. Let's see who's going to be talking with us. Is it the photographer who's going to be doing the interview?
We're not going to place again. We're looking at the breeze. I can't hold the funny.
They're trying to decide who's coming. All right, no problem. Okay, no problem. All right. So let's continue and come back. We'll come back to the original meeting in just a moment. We're going to hop across to the Social Development Commission SDC booth to find out what's happening over here. So,
Okay. All right. So we're at the SDC booth right now, the Social Development Commission. We're speaking with a representative or two from the SDC. So we look at their agenda with their programs, strengthening the participatory governance framework program, community research and database programs, priority planning and project development, local economic development, and parish interagency networking program. These are the areas being explored and pursued here in the parish of Canada. There's some research. They do a lot of research at the Social Development Commission. So for example, there are uh, some fact sheets here with loads of information. And they've been
You want to plug for film sir to go outside? This one?
right now we're going to
And you want to plug in?
people very much. So, Sir Balvin, tell us now about this outreach, this community fair ahead of the town hall receiving. It seems your captain. It was community. So spread out, as they say.
Hold on. What's the shift? Yeah, but Jeremy wants to look at it. Come back. Oh, there we go. That's so shit. I'm looking at this Jeremy extension. No, I took the book. You go on to the book. I took the book. That makes sense. But when we're looking at it about time, so see? So if it, you have to tape it up. Yeah, that's good. Tape it up. Lift it up. No, I'm better with this. Shake the thing, enemy. Shake the money.
and Mandel Mikulski of the Social Development Committee.
So we do have something to do with the people in general. So come past next time, just invite them for you. But at the turn on, I try to plug him in.
What would you say is the area of focus right now? Do you have a particular project or initiative or program that you are working on?
6. This is an audio check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also going to be drum. Hit 1, 2, 2, 2. Hit 1, 2. Hit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Has COVID-19 impacted the general operations and activities of the SBC, in particular here in Clarendon, Balvin, Mackenzie?
They not able to face but guess what? We sit down topic and we do the social media platform, we use online platform, and because of that, even though we turn it back to the time, but we know about the using the online platform to really again and if I know for more people to participate at your home, you're able to take part in the process of the taking place. Right in Rocket Point, what they're actually doing, you know, when a for you program and what they're actually already done, we established a mandate committee of the Rocket Point. And since then, you realize that they finance from the center, they go from the center to no, we have the management committee in place, and the people are organized for agents participation of active homes. I want to use this example here. They are part of the state of the union some of those are wanted to use there. This is where people report each center need to have a management committee to share with us.
Well done to you and the team, all the very best. Mikulski and Balvin Mackenzie of the Social Development Commission, the SC, speaking with us here on the grounds of the Rocky Point Community Center. It's a community fair, information, and a little giveaway here or there part of the market.
6.
And so we're going
6, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Hit 1, 3.
hurricane preparedness and not just
Hit 1,
hurricane
3,
preparedness, but
4,
in all the
5,
areas that are
6,
impacted
2, 3, 4. Got the shot.
is having responsibilities and the department, Ministry of Local and Rural Development. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dervan, Malcolm, everyone. Start with you. Is everybody?
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
At first I thought someone was throwing water on us, but this doesn't feel like free.
8, 1, 2, 5, 6, 2, 3. 8, 1, 2, 3. Five, 6, 8, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 2. Eight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Being done here now looks like blood sugar and blood pressure checks that are being right now on the device.
6.
It's there as well, and also the Social Development Commission SDC. There's also the Rural Water Supply Limited. I wonder if we have an official spokesperson here. Not here today? Okay. All right. Audrey Thompson. Mr. Thompson, good afternoon. How are you? I'm unfamiliar with the Rural Water Supply Limited. Explain how that organization operates in an environment where we have National Water Commission and National Irrigation Commission.
Rural Water Supply Limited was established in the incorporated limited, started out in 1980. The authority
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is
in terms of there was a drought and there was no water.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, now this. Yeah. Yes.
I guess you know that the break up.
going to do approach to the world. Check what
I know we're just running to see
they
him.
have been working for them.
Yeah, right, so don't. Come back. Why not come here, son? Because me can run my mic here with you. The break up.
Expert by using it.
Yeah, man. They're on the same line here.
And you can look at all that we are working on. One of our main mandates that government has given us is for us to look to provide solutions for all the rural Jamaica and coastal water. Since the recent election, you were relocated and we are now under Ministry of
All the Johnson group. That was good. Commission is with us. So you represent the Water Commission in Clarendon?
Not just Clarendon, but the Eastern Division, which includes Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and the northeastern parishes of St. Anne, St. Mary, and Fordland.
You relate to the other entities that are in the business of water.
Well, it's an integrally, it's interlinked. So, for instance, right beside us here is the Rural Water Supply Limited. They are one of the primary agencies now charged with installing water systems in, as they say, rural areas or non-urban places. And we partner with them by providing the technical support. And then once the work is completed, ownership of the system is migrated to the end of the system. So it's integral, so we operate and distribute to the customers moving forward from their completion of works. And it's important for us to be here while those works are going on so we can begin the community engagement. A number of the communities, because they would have been on formal systems or very old.
Oh, I tried that. Yeah,
in terms of keeping up, so to speak. Sometimes at the outset,
it's just that you are this is a small money about 3 years
therefore control their budgets instead of that $3,000 on the water bill. Of the salt river. The Rocky Point started the were
They may give a problem.
and already to end.
Now you want to work with the boss.
Eight, one, two, three, four, five. Eight, two, six, three,
So we're here amongst the other partners. The municipal corporation, as you know, drives the process in partnership with the budget.
one, two, three,
So in terms of the
four,
local
five,
organization,
six.
we are a part of
Yes,
that.
this,
To respond whenever there is
one, two, three, four, five,
we want to
six,
make it
eight,
because
yes. Two,
before
three,
this is
four,
what we do, we have
five,
at
six,
least 2 days water stored.
two, three,
Fluoride,
four,
we try
five,
not
six.
to use from that storage. We maximize what we can from the pipe. How to sterilize the water. So we have pamphlets here that we share with them how to sterilize and what to do afterwards in the event that there is a water lockout. Because from time to time you may find that our systems or the public supply system, in terms of public power supply, might become disrupted. Or worse, you may have fallen trees or disrupted roadways, which cause pipelines to break. So we want persons to understand those things. Storage is a must, and also how to sterilize that water in the event that there is the operation.
One,
In terms
two,
of preparation,
three,
we make
four,
sure
five,
our
six.
units are at points where we can strategically move. We have also been installing
One,
solar equipment at a number of our plants, major plants, to get more
one,
resilience.
one.
There is a disruption with the power supply from the public provider. And that we believe has made us way more rigorous in terms of response in the event of natural disasters. We're not all the way where we expect to be, but it is a start that has given us a better platform to stay.
Thank you very much, Delano. All the best.
Thank you for having me. God bless.
Take care. Delano Willett of the National Water Commission, the NWC, speaking with us here on the grounds of the Rocky Point Community Center. And we're walking over to the National Labor and the social security. And I think we also have a representative from PATH here, the Program of Advancement through Health and Education. Which one of the ladies wants to talk with me? All right. All in good time, no problem. What it is. Let's continue with more on your program, both sides of the story. Live on the Venus website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all the world. We are using the opportunity to feature some of the holders here in Clarendon, and it seems that there is a determination to ensure that everything goes off on time. And so we already have here at the Rocky Point Community Center the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, the Honorable Desmond McKenzie. We also have on location already the Mayor of the Mayor of Macon and Chairman of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation is also here already. And so you can tell that we're going to have an early start. Lots of youngsters running wild on the playing field. And why not? Why not? They are having fun. Again, to those of you who have been monitoring us on the radio, we've also been live. We haven't changed the stream. The live stream continues as being a part of this community fair. It's a community fair, and the focus is preparedness in more ways than one in every aspect of our lives, and especially the fact that we're now in the hurricane season. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. I beg your pardon. Yes, that's Faye Weller. Hello to Carol. She says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Belter Wilson says, good afternoon. And Raskaba is online as well. He says, Ras Balance, brethren. And I think he's writing here in Jamaica. So it seems Raskava learned something about the Hal's Hall Great House, and he says he has been to that house a lot of times, and most people that he hears them call the name, they say something other than what is the correct pronunciation. Most Clarendonians will thank you too for that revelation, he says. Thank you very much, Raskava. Took us a while. You're writing under the moniker of Roy Bent, Ras Balance, or Raskava. We'll go with Ras Balance for the time being. Let's continue with more on your program. Both sides of the story here on Horror 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And still taking your calls, actually, 876-922-411-225, 876-922-411-225. We were telling you earlier on that the Milk River Spa is another of Jamaica's great spas. The radioactivity of the water is many times greater than many of the world's famous spas. The relative radioactivity of the water has been found to be 9 times as active as Bath in England, 50 times as active as Vichy, France, 5 times as active as Carlsbad, Australia, and 54 times as active as Baden in Switzerland.
Milk River Spa is about 10 miles south of Maypen, Clarendon, and is open to the public. You should visit one of these days. And then there's the famous Portland Point Lighthouse. The Portland Point Lighthouse has the highest tower in the island, standing at a height of 145 feet. It's located at latitude 170 degrees north and 770 degrees west on the summit of the Portland Ridge near the southernmost point of the island. The tower flashes a white light every 15 seconds. That's another feature of the landscape here in Clarendon. We can also tell you that the the town of Maypen in Clarendon was once an estate named after its owner, the Reverend William May, an Anglican clergyman who served in the parish and was rector of Kingston Parish Church for 32 years. His first wife was a daughter of Edward and Eliza Pennant, the same people who owned that piece of land called Pennants. There were large landed proprietors in Clarendon, and Reverend May's son was Custos of Clarendon and Vere. So that's another notable individual in the history of the parish of Clarendon. Now, the Milk River itself is navigable for about 3.2 kilometers and it used to be the principal source of irrigation for the Clarendon Plains. A considerable amount of logwood and fruit used to be shipped down it, and in the 19th century, crocodiles could be seen sunning themselves on its banks. The crocodiles haven't gone anywhere. They're still very much around. And that is one of the attractions here in the parish of Clarendon. So the history is rich, and in fact, there was a bit of information we wanted to share with you. A bit of information that's pertinent to today that we wanted to bring to your attention. Let's see if we can do that just about now. And it has to do with, oops, look at the time. Let's take the break and come back.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
401 on Power 106.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of the nation can defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
The Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising the public that the telephone numbers for the St. Catherine office located at 10 Hanover Street, Town, are 876-984-2554, 876-618-0505, and 876-618-0563. That is a public service announcement.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Mr. Levy, may I come in?
What is it, Nancy?
I have a letter for you, sir, from Miss Watson's doctor.
Day 1, 2,
So she done it 14
Because she had a difficult C-section, sir.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. I could never understand people. Impossible.
You never try someone else understand you?
She knows that she will take up all of those questions about my telephone, right?
She knows.
I can't promise for it. She never listened to me. Well, you can't relate that way. Hold it right there. If a worker who has been dragged for 30 days for 12 days is expecting a second job confinement, regulatory employment certificate for registered medical practitioner, verifying that as a result of her illness arising from that
Yeah, I think so.
or as a result of the status death of the child who has given birth, it is necessary to work with active work for additional period not exceeding 14 weeks, which shall be specified in the certificate, and shall begin immediately after the end of those 12 weeks. Her employer shall grant her extension of her maternity leave or the period shall specify. That's how it is.
Brought to you today by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
Well, the plan is encouraging that the 45 days to 5 a.m. and 4 and 9 to 5 p.m. on Paul 106 FM for Under the Law.
This night parish focus broadcast in Grand and Dewey South Pastoral is brought to you by P&D Williams, Heavy Equipment Limited, Clarendon Loop, and Lionel Town Pharmacy and Health Store.
Let's go, studio. Que ora es en español, son las 4:05. Quel heure est-il en français? Les 4:05. 现在几点了？4点06分. Well, it started out at 4:05. It's now 6 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at the Rocky Point Community Center in Clarendon, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're live at the Rocky Point Community Center. This is the venue for the first in a series of town hall meetings organized by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. As we said, the minister has long arrived from about 3 hours ahead of time. About 3 hours ahead of time. And the mayor of Maypen and chairman of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation wasn't too far away either in terms of time, wasn't too far behind. So we're in the parish of Clarendon, and as we said, this is the start of a series of town hall meetings, not for the first time. These meetings have become a bit of a staple now, except for the intervention of COVID-19. And but the meetings are back, starting this evening at 6 at the Rocky Point Community Center. And one of our regular listeners and viewers, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, says, congrats to Nurse Lindsay, and it's fitting that she hails from Clarendon, where you're now broadcasting from. And he says, Dervan forgot to mention Nurse Lindsay was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. No, didn't forget at all, Albert. We did get the information that it would happen. So the story is President Joe Biden presented the prestigious Medal of Freedom to the New York nurse who was the first person in the United States to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, Sandra Lindsay, and thrust into the international spotlight when she was vaccinated on live television on December 14, 2020. And she's a critical care nurse who directs patient care services at Long Island Jewish Medical Center in New York. In fact, to be more precise, in New Hyde Park. And she received America's highest civilian honor, along with 16 other people, including actor Denzel Washington, gymnast Simone Biles, and the late John McCain, the Arizona Republican with whom Biden served in the US Senate. So congratulations to Stephanie, Nurse Lindsay, congratulations to her, and we wish her all the very best. Sandra Lindsay, I beg your pardon. Nurse Sandra Lindsay, who is from the parish of Clarendon, where we're broadcasting right now. It's very good to know. So congratulations. The other 13 medal recipients, as we said, let's say Sister Simone Campbell, member of the Sister of Social Service and former executive director of Network. Others honored: Julieta Garcia, a former president of University of Texas at Brownsville; Gabrielle Giffords, a former U.S. House member for Arizona; Fred Gray, one of the first Black members of the Alabama legislature after Reconstruction; Steve Jobs, co-founder, chief executive, and chair of Apple Inc.; Father Alexander Carlutus, the assistant to Archbishop Demetrius of America; Kizir Khan, an immigrant from Pakistan; Diane Nash, a founding member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee; Megan Rapinoe, the Olympic gold medalist and two-time Women's World Cup soccer champion captain, who captains the All Reign in the National Women's Soccer League; Alan Simpson, also recognized, the retired U.S. Senator from Wyoming; Richard Trumka, Wilma Vaught, Raul Zaguar. Those were the others honored, along with Jamaica's own Sandra Lindsay, first to receive the COVID vaccine in the United States. Congratulations to her. And let's see who else is online messaging us. Inez Iona Campbell says, pleasant Thursday afternoon, everyone. To you too, Inez Iona Campbell. Good to have you on board, and all the very best to you. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Bit of history we wanted to share with you because it's pertinent to today, and that is that in 1945, a resolution was passed at the combined annual meeting of the Central Clarendon City elected representatives of the parish to change the capital of the parish from Four Paths to Maypen. So apparently the Central Clarendon Citizens Association, it seems they were successful in getting their elected representatives in the parish to change the 1945. Four Paths was the capital. And with the lobbying efforts of the Central Clarendon Citizens Association and the Clarendon Federation of Citizens Associations, Maypen subsequently became the capital, or was established as the capital of Clarendon. There's a lot of history, a lot of useful information that we always look forward to sharing as far as the connection with the particular event or broadcast is concerned. Always happy to make such a connection. If you're just tuning in, this is both sides of the story here on Horror 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're broadcasting from the Rocky Point Community Center in Rocky Point, Clarendon, part of the annual Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Preparedness Town Hall meetings. And the first of those meetings will get going at 6 o'clock this evening, right here at the Rocky Point Community Center. There's more after the break.
3, 4, 5, 6.
You're listening to Horror 106 FM. The time is now 4:15. Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration, known as an
Hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Check level.
agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once customs and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IN4 or INS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or CC number. It is
1, 2, 3, 4.
Email the Jamaican Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in Coca-Cola, Crane, forklift, dump trucks, and flatbed trailers. Contact PMD Women's Heavy Equipment. We sell 4, 6, and 8-inch blocks, colored bricks and pavers, concrete pumps, water and submersible pumps, compressors, concrete for decking, and foundation casting. PMD Williams Heavy Equipment, Savannah District, Hayes, Clarendon.
This live Paris-focused broadcast in Clarendon hearing both sides of the story is brought to you by P&B Williams Heavy Equipment Limited, Clarendon Loop, and Lionel Town Pharmacy and Health Store.
Let's go. Peor es en español, son las 4:19. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:07. TDN here on the grounds of the Rocky Point in Clarendon. Homework yet? Yes, young people, we know you're on holiday, but some of you are attending summer school. We trust you had a productive day of learning today, of physical activity. Education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. All right, we're with a couple of young people right now here at Rocky Point Community Center, and they're representing SPM Waste Management Limited. On my left, I have Moane Williams, and on my right, Francina Francis. Hello, Francina, how are you?
I am good, thanks.
What about you, Moane? Let's get it going. Limited. Where is your jurisdiction? What area or areas? And what can you tell us? Habits of this that men in do on is limited doing mowing match their waste.
Myself, sensitized persons, especially within the area. Currently, we have a project, Patrol, where we clean up the entire area. Persons have to dump in mentally. It is a challenge. It's a challenge because persons have complaining about skips and other things that has
Excuse to say that there's no garbage bin, there's no
we're just here to tell people use pots, drums, receptacles, incinerator garbage. Please. So just but we are trying. Dumping illegally don't necessarily mean solving it's worse. Because there's only two legal dump sites within this region. One in Myersville, one in Martin. So everything else apart from that is illegal. We're working assiduously around the clock to have all the problems rectified as soon as possible.
to come in a bit is on the point that was being made by Moen.
I just wanted to encourage persons to containerize the garbage and to be mindful in terms of waste separation. And they have to play their part and be responsible as well in terms of helping us to execute our duty. At the end of the day, Jamaica's duty is all our duty and we have a collective role to play. So just kindly containerize your garbage as much as possible.
What about the frequency of garbage? There's a shortage. So how has the SPM been managing, SPM Waste Management Limited, your constraint?
In this area, the collection because of the challenges that we're having. Just bear with us. We know it's a problem, we know it is difficult, But just please bear with us.
Obviously, there's a of the frequency. You're still doing.
We are still out there every day as best as possible in various communities and through the major and sign up the waste and keep the community. So even though we're having that issue in terms of a lot of gunshot stuff, we're still trying to be strategic as possible in terms of how we approach it to attend those
That from time to time you have initiatives from the standpoint of, for example, if you notice a community, I think it was mentioned earlier on, like a community that is handling waste management, that you then, uh, how many such communities come to mind?
right, well, I can tell you offhand that right now we're considering a project called Holland St. Elizabeth, and this is we want to roll it out in St. Elizabeth as well. So that basically is in terms of getting persons to containerize the garbage in terms of items that they're getting and putting it in bags and support rather than disposing of it. That's one of the issues. Pushing St. Elizabeth and also other areas as well in Manchester.
Those who would like to get in touch with the SPM Waste Management, are you online? Are you
Just use this opportunity to say, please just follow us on social media, specifically Instagram, SCM_waste. You can always reach us through that medium and
Thank you very much, Francina. All the best.
thank you.
Francina Francis and Maureen Williams. Thank you as well.
I just want to tell people, reuse, and recycle.
Thank you both very much. All the best. All right, here. Let's continue with more on the Cleaners website, go-maker.com. We just featured members of SPM, Solid Waste Management Agency. The Heart NSA is also represented here. And let me see if I can borrow a couple of minutes out of this lady's time. I know she's busy. Or is the gentleman who's going to be speaking with me? Yes? All right, let me come around. So, good afternoon. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and you are?
I'm Keeper Brown. Yes, man.
Keeper Brown, nice to meet you. So, what is your role with Heart NSTA Trust, Region 6, is it?
Yes, man. Region 6, which is inclusive of Clarendon and St. Catherine. I am the parish manager for Clarendon.
And what can you tell us in terms of the interest and level of participation in the Heart NSTA within your region?
All right, so within the Region 6, we see where persons are quite interested in the heart product. We would have numerous new programs along with some legacy programs such as our registered apprenticeship program. We have our school leaving. We have two of the biggest institutions within the Heart NSTA Trust within Region 6. We have the Heart College of Construction Services in St. Catherine, Portmore, and we have the Ebony Park Academy that is also in the Clarendon area. So persons are receptive to the information that we are disseminating about this new heart that is here to transform the lives of Jamaicans, leading to the development of the human capital.
Those who have never tried Heart, for whatever reason, they haven't really, they have tried elsewhere. Why should they choose Heart Trust, Heart NSPA Trust, as opposed to any other similar program that might be out there, although even as unique as Heart NSPA Trust is?
All right, so one of the main reasons Heart NSTA Trust was built for the Jamaican population. So you'll find that most of the programs are subsidized, fully subsidized by the government of Jamaica. So if you were to apply for Ebony Park Academy for any one of the levels going up to level 3, you would find that tuition is absolutely free. Our residential facilities, all of that is absolutely free to the training. Similarly for our College of Construction Services, we have numerous programs that allow the trainees to be train on the job. So, for example, someone is interested in welding or they're interested on an apprenticeship basis. So they can be placed at a business, the business getting real life work experience, getting a stipend. They're also being exposed to training to balance that equation. At the end of the program, they would have gotten valuable work experience along with certification, whether level three, depending on what level they would have entered the program.
Seems to be the most popular of all the programs that are administered in Region 6 at Heart NSTA Trust.
Oh Lord, the most popular program. All right, so outside of institutional training, I think our apprenticeship programs are popular because we have quite a number and we're doing some revamping to that program, but currently we have about 5 or 6 apprenticeship type programs. We have our graduate work experience program for persons who would have just left
Going to be an opportunity to finish, but we need to take a break. We're speaking with Chico Brown, parish manager for the parish of Clarendon with Heart NSTA Trust, which is in Region 6. One moment, please.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
Let Clarendon Loop help you protect your investment. They rebuild your brakes, speedometer, and bumper cables for all automobiles. They also rebuild and replace hydraulic hoses, power steering hoses, power wash hoses, radiators, and overhead hoses. Clarendon Loop. One day roll of daily, no call, no daily showground. Telephone 876-783-1591. Huntington's Funeral Centers West Farm Memorial Gardens and Crematorium, located on Diamond Street and Waterworks Restaurant. They offer 24-hour island-wide pickup programs, announcements, modern horses, wreaths, and much more. At Huntington's, they say, please send your loved ones home with a smile. The highest quality, lowest cost for 9180755 or 957-7642-44. This live parish focused broadcast in town and doing both sides of the story is brought to you by E&D Williams.